We're going to take an in-depth look at the Philadelphia Eagles 2024 roster. I really like the exercise that ESPN did. They took an in-depth look at all 32 teams across the NFL and ranked all of the rosters going into training camp, and then they projected the starters on both sides of the ball. So we're going to take a glance at all of that coming up here on Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior, and no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, I appreciate you for making today's show a part of your day. And a reminder, we are 26 days away from the start of Eagles training camp at the NovaCare Complex in South Philadelphia. If you're excited for the return of Eagles football and seeing this guy in an Eagles uniform, number 26, Saquon Barkley, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. First, ESPN did their roster outlook, and they broke down the biggest strengths, weaknesses, X factors, and an under-the-radar player who is not a starter yet. And this doesn't come as much of a surprise, but the biggest strength for the Birds, offensive tackle. Here's what ESPN said. The Eagles have arguably the league's best tackle duo with Jordan Mailata manning the left side, Lane Johnson on the right side. Mailata ranked among the top tackles in pass block win rate and run block win rate in 2023. Lane Johnson is now 34 years old, but he was his usual elite self in 2023, which included the best run block win rate among starting tackles and didn't give up a lot of pressures or sacks on Jalen Hurts. Even without Jason Kelce, this Philadelphia Eagles offensive line is going to be a very good unit. Top 5, top 10, and that's going to help this team dramatically offensively, defensively, running the football, passing the football. When I say offense, defense, ball control, giving your defense a rest, scoring some points to make the defense's job a lot easier. As for the biggest weakness on this Eagles roster, off-ball linebacker. That too, not much of a surprise here. Here's what ESPN had to say. Even though Philadelphia has added to this position this offseason by way of free agency and the draft, off-ball linebacker, this is simply not a priority position for general manager Howie Roseman. A year after struggling to find players to hold down the fort, the Eagles' offseason investments included Devin White, journeyman Oren Burks, and a fifth-round flyer on Jeremiah Trotter Jr., a former first-round pick. White played a ton of snaps in 5 years with Tampa Bay, but struggled badly against the run. The team will hope to get the most out of White and a healthy season from 2022 third-rounder Nakobe Dean, which would also provide a boost. It is unquestionably a make-or-break year for Nakobe Dean. Barely played year one last year, went into the season wearing the green dot as a starter, injured his foot, and for him, he's a little bit smaller, so he has to escape these injury issues and show in general that he can play. I think he can make up for that lack of size with really good instincts and feel, but if he doesn't play well this year, Eagles probably not going to look at him as having a starting opportunity in the future. This is year 3 of his 4-year rookie contract. And as far as Devin White goes, I think I'm in the minority here. I think Devin White balls out. I am a true believer in the player, and I think Vic Fangio is really going to help him break out of that slump that he had last year. The Eagles' X factor, the cornerback position. I do find this somewhat interesting, even though Howie Roseman's done a great job of adding depth at this position. Here's what ESPN had to say on that note. Cornerbacks Darius Slay and James Bradbury. The Eagles invested in their secondary this offseason to make up for Slay and Bradbury, coming off down years last year. But can you imagine if the two veteran corners bounce back? It's not out of the question. Cornerback play is quite variant from year to year, and both players have been high-end performers in the past. They have the potential to move this roster from good to great. I actually think Darius Slay was solid last year. James Bradbury was terrible after he was the second-team All-Pro in 2022. But even if they both struggle, I still think the Eagles are going to be okay. Cornerback is finally deep position for Philadelphia, and we'll see what happens to James Bradbury. I don't think he's going to be in the running to get snaps for this football team. The non-starter to know from ESPN on this Eagles team is Ainias Smith, the rookie wide receiver drafted late in the draft out of Texas A&M. Receiver Anais Smith, the new Eagles slot receiver Parris Campbell, does not have the best record of staying healthy, and the depth here is poor. Fifth-round rookie Smith, a smaller guy, 5'9", 176 pounds. He's a speedster. He'll have to step in if Campbell gets hurt, and it's hard to know what the Eagles can get out of him. He caught 53 passes for 795 yards and 2 touchdowns last year at Texas A&M. Only a 4.5 40 guy, by the way, but short area quickness, has a little bit of wiggle, and I think that he could have a role as a return man on this team, potentially. Before we continue to move forward on today's show, anytime the Eagles beat the Cowboys, it's glorious. And here at Chat Sports, we are annihilating, dominating, crushing the Dallas Cowboys this month in subscribers picked up since June 1. What a month we're having. 918 new subscribers here on Eagles Now, and we're beating the Cowboys report 527. Let's continue to embarrass Dallas. F Dallas. How about them Cowboys? Go Birds. Coming up next, a look at ESPN's projected starters as this man to my right and Howie Roseman has put together a cornucopia of talent on this Eagles team. My man Joey Peterson challenged me to use that word on the show, and I'm doing it. First, want to once again welcome a brand new sponsor on board here on Eagles Now, and it is True Nutrition. A lot of you know that I take my health and wellness very seriously, my running very seriously, and I'm starting to do some workout classes to add a little bit more bulk, add some strength, because I'm trying to get into this hybrid athlete type of form. I'm also living down here in Dallas, Texas. That's where our sports network is located. It gets so hot. It's been 95 plus every single day. Electrolytes are key for me. Creatine, helping me with mental benefits, but also building some muscle. And True Nutrition really has everything for your fitness, health, and wellness goals. If you're buying protein specifically or other supplements, you should be concerned about the ingredients. It's no secret that the supplement industry is not heavily regulated, and many products on the market have fillers and even harmful chemicals in them. That's why I'm excited to talk about True Nutrition. Unlike most supplement brands that focus on marketing a product that is manufactured elsewhere, True Nutrition manufactures its own products while marketing takes a back seat. True Nutrition was formed to provide protein powders and supplements with absolutely no fillers, no additives, no gluten, and most importantly, no BS. You can finally stop worrying about all of your bad supplements that you might have in your cabinet and hop on board with True Nutrition. For a limited time, our listeners, our viewers, get 15% off your entire order when you use the code CHAT. That's 15% off your order at truenutrition.com/chat and use the promo code chat. I love the customizable process on the website. It is very easy to use, and they really have everything that you need, from protein to creatine to greens blends, with certain add-ons that you can add to a greens blend like turmeric, which is obviously great for you and limiting inflammation. So True Nutrition benefits ready in minutes. You have pure ingredients, nutritious and delicious, accessible and affordable. Website easy to use. So one more time, for a limited time only, our listeners get 15% off your entire order when you use the code CHAT at checkout. That's 15% off your order at truenutrition.com/chat. Take the guesswork out of nutrition with True Nutrition. In my Philly City of Champions mug, I actually have some protein powder in here right now. So shout out to True Nutrition. Cheers. ESPN's projected starters on offense. Not a ton of surprises here. Quarterback Jalen Hurts, running back Saquon Barkley, wide receiver A.J. Brown, and DeVonta Smith. It's a cakewalk, right? Wide receiver Parris Campbell did get significant snaps at wide receiver 3 in the spring. So I think all of these positions are set in stone except for wide receiver 3, because I think that can change in training camp. If Parris Campbell gets injured once again, or another player rises up to the occasion, or if the Eagles make an external move, like, let's say, a Hunter Renfrow. And then you go further onto the offensive side of the football, I find it interesting and somewhat surprising that ESPN has CJ Uzomah as the top backup tight end to Dallas Goedert. The offensive line, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen, and Lane Johnson. That's still a strong offensive line unit, and right now, that is the offensive line unit. Couple of questions from the players on your screen here. I think CJ Uzomah is a trusted veteran and a pretty good run blocker as compared to Grant Calcaterra and Albert Okwuegbunam. But do Grant Calcaterra and Albert O have more upside? They're younger players and better athletes. So could they unseat CJ Uzomah? Will they get more opportunities? We'll certainly see, because the tight end 2 battle behind Dallas Goedert, a fascinating one. And I think that Tyler Steen and Mekhi Becton are going to compete for right guard. Steen has been given the opportunity to win that job right now, but I think Becton can take it from him. He's trying out that guard spot for the first time in his career, and man, he's a mauling, massive dude. Now we go to defense. Projected starters here. A lot of people are going to get excited about this. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis at defensive tackle, the edge rushers, Josh Sweat, Bryce Huff, and Brandon Graham. Those are your top 3 edge rushers, unless you think that Nolan Smith should deserve more playing time here. Now, Brandon Graham entering year 15, it's easy to see why ESPN would put him there ahead of Nolan Smith, but I think Nolan Smith is going to be due for a big leap going into his sophomore campaign, and I'm interested to see, on that note, how Vic Fangio works the defensive line and the entire defensive line rotation, in addition to, does he go 3-4 all the time? Is it going to be a hybrid approach? And let's go to this. The 2 off-ball linebackers, Devin White and Nakobe Dean. I'm rooting for that to be the off-ball linebacker duo. Darius Slay, cornerback 1. And how about this? The rookies, Quinion Mitchell, cornerback 2, opposite of Darius Slay on the outside. And guess who's playing slot nickel? Cooper DeJean. So 2 rookies in the starting secondary for Philadelphia, as ESPN has the first-round pick in Mitchell and the second-round pick in DeJean as the projected starters. I would love to see this. The 2 starting safeties, C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Reed Blankenship. I can't wait to see what Mitchell and DeJean do. It's the first time the Eagles have drafted a corner in the first round since Lito Shepherd in 2002. And Mitchell, 4.3 speed, a knack for making plays on the football. I like his size, athleticism, physicality. Cooper DeJean is a big-time playmaker who just finds ways to make plays on the football, make splash plays. He's also a really good athlete, and the Eagles have remade their entire secondary. And, of course, as part of that cornerback position, watch out for Keely Ringo and Isaiah Rodgers. That's why I don't see how James Bradbury has a role on this ball club. So ESPN ranked the Eagles roster 10th in the NFL. I think that's a little bit low. So I'm going to type my L. Is it too high? Type T for too high. Is it just right? Type J for just right. Hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, give me a real one down below. And don't forget to hit that sub button.